guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jane. I'm a personal trainer based in New York City. Today we're going to be doing a full body foam roll, so grab your foam roller and get ready. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I upload videos like this every single week. So subscribe, stick around for more, and let's go ahead and jump into today's foam rolling. So we're going to start off with our calves, placing the foam roller right underneath, about 2 inches above your ankle. I'm going to use my other foot to sort of press me up as well as my hands, and we're going to slowly foam roll all the way to about 2 inches beneath the knee, and then bringing it all the way back up to that starting position. Good. If this is feeling a little light, you feel like you could use a little bit more pressure, take that other leg and we're just going to put it right on top. So now there's a weight on top, pressing that leg down just a little bit further. Good. Let's do it all the way back up. And then this time, if you feel like there's any spots where you're a little bit sensitive, maybe it feels just like you have a knot or something like that, we're going to pause on that spot. So bringing it down right here, I feel that tender spot, so we're going to chill right here for a second. You can sit your butt down or lift it up depending on how much pressure you want. And we'll start to slowly shift that back and forth. It would take a few minutes to just breathe through the pain of shifting it back and forth. If one spot really feels it, you can even sit there a little bit longer. Play around with adding that pressure in different parts of the leg. So you can bring the leg down here, bring it up here, just find what feels good and stick with it. Oh, feel my calves. Good, let's bring that pressure off, getting it one more big roll all the way up and down the leg. And then we're going to just slide it over and do the same thing on the other side. So starting off with just some nice full rolls all the way up and down the leg. And then if you want to add that extra pressure, go ahead and do that. Sliding it down the leg. Oh my God. And back up. Find that sensitive spot. Oh, mine is right here. I feel like this video is going to be just me making a lot of weird noises. Ow, 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 ow. Shifting it back and forth. This is like the hack of a lifetime. I did not used to do this. I used to just kind of like put that extra pressure on there and sit on it. But when you actually rainbow your foot back and forth, leaning from side to side, you can just get so much more out of foam rolling. Oh my God, okay. We're all breathing through it, suffering together. Good, let's take another deep breath right there. Gosh, I have dog hair and just fluff all over me. Good, and then one more roll out all the way down. And back up. Maybe a little extra love right there. Okay, so from there we're gonna flip it over, bringing it off to the side. So we're gonna go ahead and foam roll our quads. You can start right here, 2 inches above the knee, rolling it down until we're right beneath that hip. You can even get it all the way up into that hip flexor and then rolling it back down. So for some people, the quads can be a really sensitive area. We live in a super quad dominant world, so you might have super tight quads, especially if you work at a desk, anything like that. You might feel tightness in your hips, tightness in the front part of your body. That's totally normal. Good, bring it all the way down until you find that sensitive spot. I'm gonna move a little bit so I stay in frame until you find that sensitive spot. Good, and then let's just chill out there, and you can do the same thing with your foot, about rainbowing it back and forth like we did with the quads. Go ahead and just rainbow back and forth. Yeah, so we're gonna sit here and do this for a second. You can also bend and straighten the leg. Just a heads up, I do not foam roll my hamstrings because we don't really need to. So if you have tight hamstrings, you're probably a little bit better off. Probably a little bit better off doing some hamstring stretches rather than foam rolling. But I do think that foam rolling for the quads can make a big difference. Especially if you also have like any kind of knee pain. Might be that you have tight quads and those muscles are pulling up on your knees. So if you feel like you have knee pain, I would suggest just adding in this quad foam rolling before any workouts that you do, especially like any day that you're gonna squat, anything like that. Go ahead and take a couple more full rolls on this side. Yeah, any day that you're gonna squat, anything that's like quad dominant, you'll definitely wanna hit the quads with a foam roller before you go in to do that. Go ahead and switch sides. We're heading into the other side. We're gonna start with some full rolls all the way down the quad, right into the hip flexor, and bringing it all the way back up. Couple more, just full rolls up and down the leg. Oh my god, my hip flexors are tight. Down, good. And then go ahead and start finding that sensitive spot that you have. And we're gonna rainbow the foot back and forth. I like kind of rainbowing a couple of times in one spot and then bringing it a little bit lower, doing another few rainbows, bringing it a little bit lower, and then going back up the leg, and then going ahead and doing that bending of the leg and going through the same process. But if you feel like one specific spot is really more tender than the others, then you can just stick to that spot. A couple more just full rolls right here, all the way down, and all the way back up. So next up, we're gonna foam roll the glutes. I'm just sticking this foam roller right underneath me, sitting down, putting my hands right behind me. We're gonna start off by taking the right ankle and crossing it over the left knee, and then just leaning onto that left side, okay? So this should feel super, super focused onto one glute. We're gonna take a few rolls back and forth. If you're having a hard time getting into this position, this is also totally cool just to lean to that side. We just wanna make sure that we're isolating one glute over the other. And you can get some nice big rolls in right here, going all the way to like beneath your butt, like so that you're sitting up almost straight, and then going all the way down to almost the low back, but we don't want to roll the low back. So just before you're about to get to the low back area. Got a couple more full rolls right here. And then we're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. So I'm crossing my left ankle over my right knee and just taking a tilt onto that right glute. Taking some full rolls all the way to the top of the glute and then all the way to the bottom of the glute. We're gonna get 4 or 5 passes in here. Surprisingly, not as sore in my glutes as I normally am. So if this is your first few times foam rolling, you know, it might feel like it's really, really intense, but it does get easier the more often that you do it. You know, your body just gets used to it and then starts to kind of expect it. Good, and then come off of that. And we're just gonna bring this up into the upper back. So right now I have this about 1 inch underneath my shoulder blades. And I'm gonna push through my heels, bring it to right where my shoulders are, and then bring it right back. And you can even put your hands behind your head if you want, almost like a crunch position. We're just gonna start going through the upper back. So we don't wanna foam roll the low back at all because there's not enough muscle there to protect the organs that you have there. So down in our low back, we really only have like a small layer of muscles and then our spine and organs, right? But in this upper back, we have a lot of back muscles, we have our ribs. So there's a lot of things protecting the organs that we have there. Not so much on the low back, not so much on the stomach. So those are places you don't really want to foam roll. Bring it all the way down, all the way back up. If there is a spot that feels sensitive, oh my God, my hood is caught. If there's a spot that feels sensitive, you can go ahead and take a second there. It might feel kind of cool to sort of move your arm around. You can see how that feels. It's just going to start exposing different muscles and change the way that the foam roller is hitting those muscles. All the way down. And bring it all the way up, come to a stopping point. And then we're gonna flip over to our side. So moving on to the lat area right here. So the lats are these big muscles that run all the way down our back, underneath of our armpit. So I'm just gonna like mermaid sit on the side here with the foam roller right underneath my armpit, and then slowly start to work my way up and back down. So for some people, this spot can be really, really sensitive. Some other people not so much. So if this like isn't feeling good to you, you can go back and do your upper back a little bit more. If this is feeling good, let's stick here. I like finding my sensitive spot on my lats like pretty early on, and then just rocking back and forth to kind of massage those knots out. I hold a lot of stress in my back. Like literally every massage therapist I've ever been to is like, holy heck, are you okay? So yeah, I like to take a little extra time with my lats because I hold a lot of tension here. Taking some deep breaths, think about breathing into the belly, breathing the belly up, and then letting all that air out. One more big breath, rocking it back and forth as you exhale. Good, and then from there, let's go ahead and switch sides. You can just roll over if you want. I'm gonna continue facing the camera so you're not talking to my booty. We're doing the same thing over here, starting in our little, paint me like a French girl. And just starting to roll back and forth. So again, on this side, I like finding that kind of sensitive spot a little bit earlier on and just rocking onto my chest a little bit, and then just starting to rock onto my back a little bit. So I'm just opening the chest back and forth, massaging any kind of knots that I have in the lat area. Taking some deep breath. This can be kind of intense sometimes depending on how sensitive your muscles are. Another thing you can do is taking that bottom hand and just sort of like rotating it back and forth. Again, it's just sort of manipulating the muscles, exposing different things. So you can play around with that. So you might feel more in some areas than others. Let's take 2 deep breaths right here. Breathing in and letting it all go. Let's do one more, just like that. Breathing it in and breathing it out. Good, alrighty. Last thing we're gonna do is just put some pressure into the shoulders. So I mentioned earlier how like front dominant we are, and that goes for our upper body too. We put a lot of pressure into our chest and our shoulders because we're working at a desk, we're texting all day, we're always hunched over looking at our phone. So we want to take a little bit of that pressure off. So I'm gonna set up my foam roller right here, lay down right next to it. My apartment is slanted. And I'm just gonna rest my shoulder right there and lay my arm out on top of my foam roller. So that might be enough for you. That might feel like pretty good right there. If you feel like you want a little bit more, you can start rotating your arm, getting a little bit more of a massage. And then if that feels good too, you can start doing some windshield wipers here, just kind of, or snow angels maybe, I should say. These are definitely more snow angel-y than windshield wiper-y. Your foam roller might move a little bit and that's okay. You just need to maybe adjust it every now and then. Yep, there goes mine. And just keep on rotating. You really just want to play around with this. There's not a ton of wrong ways to foam roll. We don't want to foam roll over any bones or joints, and we don't want to foam roll over anywhere that could have like organs that could be, injured, like the low back and the stomach, like what I was saying earlier. But other than that, you can really play around with this, rotate your limbs so you can get different areas exposed. It's really all about just finding what feels good to you. Good, and then let's go ahead and pop over to the other side. Again, I'm just gonna flip over here, but you can just move your foam roller. Tight areas, sirens going off. It is New York City, baby. Good, all right, so we're just pressing this in at first, just kind of relaxing. And then you can go ahead and start rotating a little bit. Maybe doing some of those snow angels. Play around. And just keep breathing. I know sometimes this can be a little intense. So just make sure that you keep breathing, keeping the airflow going in your body. Let's take 2 more deep breaths together right here. Breathing it in. And a big exhale. Breathing it in. And a big exhale. All right, friends, well, thank you so much for foam rolling with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Again, I upload videos like this every single week along with an educational video or a vlog, so be sure to stick around. We have a lot of fun here on this channel, and I will catch you guys next time.